Welcome to the Sealmasters of Hawaii Spall Repair Training video. The first step is locating the spalled concrete. Notice how the technician is using a hammer and a chain to drag across the surface of the concrete to find the spall. The spalling location will sound hollow when tapping with the hammer or dragging with the chain. After the spalling location is identified, we begin to remove the spalled concrete with a jackhammer. Notice how water is being used to spray in the location to prevent dust from getting into the air. The perimeter of the spall needs to be cut with a saw. The proper PPE must be worn during the entire repair process. Notice the saw has a vacuum attachment, collecting all dust. The jackhammer is used to trim the spall, to remove the spalled concrete up against the saw cut and around the reinforcing steel. Water is used to prevent dust from going into the air. A vacuum is then used to clean the cavity. Notice how the concrete is removed entirely around the reinforcing steel. Here you see the technician using a wire wheel to remove rust and debris from the rebar. This is done until the rebar exhibits a clean metallic finish. The rebar is then treated with an epoxy specified by the architect or engineer. It is important that the epoxy not come in contact with the concrete. The rebar must receive 2 coats of epoxy, with the second coat being installed within 72 hours of the first coat. The concrete needs to be poured in place while the second coat of epoxy is still tacky. It is now time to measure the spall cavity. We measure the length, the width, and the depth, and we document these measurements on a spreadsheet. Each spall cavity is photographed with a tape measure. The spreadsheet and photographs are turned into our office to be used for backup billing documentation. The specified material is then mixed to the consistency recommended by the material manufacturer. The product is thoroughly mixed with a paddle and drill. The spall cavity must be saturated with water and a slurry coat before the material is poured in place. The slurry coat is a wet, soup-like consistency. The slurry must remain wet during the pour. The material is then poured in place and troweled smooth or to match the adjacent surfaces. It is important that the technician not add additional water to the new concrete while trying to trowel it to a smooth finish, as this can lead to hairline cracking in the newly patched area. A rag or burlap needs to be placed over the patch to protect it from direct sunlight and wind, which causes hairline cracks in the surface of the patch. Approximately 24 hours later, the patch needs to be sanded to create a smooth surface. Thank you for watching our training video. I wish you and your teams great success in all of your patches.